Still sitting for more than 3 hours a day? Your life expectancy may already be shortened. You may think it's harmless, just sitting for a little while. You're tired, you need a break. You're older now. What's the point of moving around? But that little while of sitting is silently pulling you closer to the edge of your lifespan. No noise, no pain, but very, very real. According to large-scale studies, sitting for more than 3 hours a day without getting up is directly linked to shortened life expectancy, increased risk of heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and even cognitive decline. The scariest part? Most people have no idea they're slowly killing themselves by doing nothing more than spending hours on a comfortable chair every day. If you're over 60 and still sit for long stretches, watching TV, scrolling your phone, reading the paper, sipping tea, then it's time to wake up. Your body was never built to stay still, and your remaining years are too precious to waste in slow decay. 1. Sitting too long thickens your blood, raising your risk of sudden stroke. When you sit without moving for long periods, your blood, especially in the legs, starts to slow down. This doesn't just make you feel numb or stiff, it creates the perfect condition for tiny blood clots to form in your veins. You won't feel them, they won't hurt, but one day with just a small change in blood pressure or a sudden motion, that clot can break loose, travel to your heart or brain, and cause a stroke or heart attack within minutes. There have been countless cases where elderly people sat watching TV for hours and suddenly couldn't speak, smile, or move one side of their body. In aging bodies, veins are weaker and the heart pumps less efficiently, making this risk even greater. So every time you sit too long, you're gambling with your life. Here's a powerful change. Every 30 to 45 minutes of sitting, stand up and walk for 2 to 3 minutes, even if it's just around your room. This small action may be the difference between a normal day and one that changes your life forever. 2. Sitting weakens your heart, quietly day by day. Your heart is a muscle that never stops, but when you sit still for hours, it doesn't need to work as hard. It pumps less, slows down, and over time, it gets lazy. You might not notice it at first. Maybe you feel a little more tired than usual. Walking becomes harder. A few stairs leave you winded. You think it's just aging, but in reality, your heart has been growing weaker from inactivity. Older adults already have less elastic arteries and slower circulation. If you don't help your heart stay active, you risk blood pressure swings, poor circulation, and eventually heart failure. The good news is, you don't need intense workouts. You just need motion. Walk around your house a few times a day. Stand up and stretch. Water your plants. Get your own glass of water. Every time you get moving, your heart wakes up. And that's how you keep it strong, even after 60. 3. Sitting shrinks your muscles and makes it harder to even get up. After 60, muscle loss becomes a real threat. But when you sit all day, the decline speeds up. The muscles in your thighs, calves, hips, and lower back, your core walking and balance muscles, start to shrink from lack of use. At first, you may just feel weaker, but then one day, you try to stand up from a chair, and you can't. You need to push off the armrest. You wobble. You grab something to steady yourself. That's not just aging. That's functional decline from disuse. You don't need to be an athlete, but you do need to stay independent. And independence means you can sit, stand, balance, and walk on your own. Want to maintain that? Each morning, practice sitting and standing from a chair 5 to 10 times, using your legs, not your arms. While watching TV, stand up during each commercial break. When talking on the phone, walk slowly around the room. Every time you rise, you fight against the silent erosion of strength happening inside your body. 4. Sitting keeps your blood sugar high, and diabetes may be quietly developing. Few people realize that sitting after eating raises blood sugar levels. Your muscles need to be active to absorb glucose. But when you sit still, the sugar from your meal stays in your bloodstream. Over time, your body starts ignoring insulin. That's how insulin resistance and eventually type 2 diabetes begins. In older adults, metabolism slows down and this process accelerates. At first, you might feel tired, thirsty. Notice that cuts heal slower. You chalk it up to aging, but in reality, your blood sugar may already be out of control because of a chair. It doesn't take a gym membership to fix this. Just stand up and move for 10 minutes after each meal, pace around the house, wash the dishes, sweep a corner. These small actions allow your muscles to soak up glucose like a sponge and can drastically reduce your diabetes risk. 5. Sitting slows your brain. Your memory is quietly sitting still too. Memory doesn't fade just because of age. It fades because the brain doesn't get enough blood, oxygen, or stimulation. And when you sit still, that's exactly what your brain misses out on. With reduced blood flow, your brain becomes sluggish. You forget names, misplace keys, lose your train of thought, and slowly you feel yourself becoming foggier. Studies show that older adults who sit for more than 7 hours a day have 2 to 3 times the risk of cognitive decline. Not because they're aging faster, but because their brains aren't being fueled. But this can be reversed. Stand up, stretch, take a few deep breaths, walk around the room. These micro movements push oxygen-rich blood to your brain, sharpening your memory and mental clarity. Each step you take doesn't just help your body, it powers up your brain. 6. Sitting weakens your immune system and invites silent diseases. It's hard to believe, but sitting too long can actually suppress your immune system. When you stay inactive for hours, your blood and lymph flow slow down, waste builds up, and your body's natural defense mechanisms weaken. The result? You get sick more often, recover more slowly, and chronic inflammation begins to creep in. Over time, this low-grade inflammation sets the stage for serious issues, like infections, autoimmune flare-ups, and even cancer. The fix doesn't have to be intense. Just standing up every hour, stretching, or taking a short walk can reactivate your immune system. These small moves help your body stay alert, flush out toxins, and fight off disease, quietly, efficiently, and every single day. Being healthy isn't about how long you can sit. It's about knowing when to stand. Your chair may feel soft, but if you stay in it too long, it becomes the most dangerous place in your home. After 60, gentle movement is more powerful than any pill. You don't need a treadmill. You don't need fancy gear. You just need to get up. Don't grow old sitting still, and don't let death sneak up because you never stood up. Rise, move, live. Start today.